Right, so before I go anywhere, I'd like to make an apology. I'm making my first YouTube apology. I feel like bloody PewDiePie. Anyway, seriously though, yesterday I made out that my brother were a bully, and that's not the case. The kid in question wasn't disabled in any way. I've watched the video back and I can see what my brother's saying. It does sound like I'm saying this kid was a bit like Lenny from Mice and Men challenged. But that's not the case. He was quite a clever lad, and he was a few years above, and he lived near us, and apparently he was the bully, and he was trying to bully my brother and his mate Johnny. So they used to knock him down a peg by shouting at him and getting him to chase them, and they were winding him up because he was a dick, not because he was disabled. So I hope that sets the record straight, and again, I'm sorry I upset you, Joe, and I'm sorry if I upset anyone else, because I can see it was a bit misleading. But here's the next drawing. It was a bit misleading, wasn't it? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Didn't mean to upset anybody. Yeah, so I am sorry, and try not to do that again. But one of my cousins is in the firing line this episode, so we'll see how it goes. I won't mention which cousin. I've got millions, so you know, hiding in plain sight. Anthony. Today's word is run, and for this I didn't have a clue. I knew I didn't want to do a runner, didn't want to do Bolt, didn't want to do Speedy Gonzales or Roadrunner or all like that. So I didn't really know what to do. But weather's getting colder now, so I've drawn someone with a runny nose. Football fan. Here it is. So here I've drawn a little Bradford City fan. He's at the football and it's freezing, and he's waving his little flag that probably won't exist in an actual Bradford City match, because we're not American and we don't do stuff like that really, but it looks alright, doesn't it? I needed to fill that space on my drawing. Sue me. Anyway, yeah, he's so cold that he's got his little mittens on that his mum's knitted him, and he's got his hat on that his mum's knitted him, and he's got his scarf on that his mum's knitted him, and he's got chapped lips, and his nose is running, and his little eyes are watering because it's all so cold. But yeah, that's the link, by the way, the running nose, the word run. There you go, bang. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of a story of when I was that cold once. Like, I've been cold before, you know. I live in England, and it's the winters are quite relentless sometimes when it comes to cold. But the best time I can think of was when me and 3 of my mates went to Krakow in Poland, and we went to the salt mine. So we were in Krakow in March, which was absolutely freezing. I've never felt cold like it. Like, there's photographs of me and I've got a vest on, a t-shirt on, a jumper on, a coat, a hoodie on, and a coat over the top of it with a hat on and a scarf and gloves. And I'm always warm, you know, like through summer I'd sit in my undies if I could. I'd go to the pub in my undies because I'm constantly sweaty. But yeah, Krakow were a different level of cold. And the day came where we thought, right, we're going to go to this salt mine, and we needed to get on a train, which was one of the best experiences of my life. It was the best train I've ever been on, right? And I'm not sad, but I've been on a fair few trains in my time. I've even been on that
that posh one that came to town. What's it called now? The Flying Scotsman, I think it is. Yeah, I've been on that. So, you know, I know my trains. But this one, oh my God. It was like someone had hollowed out a train. It were knackered. There were no one on it. It were like a ghost train. It were ace. And I've been on that ghost train at Thorpe Park with Darren Brown. It were like that, but less like up to date. It wasn't the tube like that is. It was like an old. It were easy 100-year-old, this thing, and it were knackered, and it were all wooden panellings all along sides, and all windows had gaps in them, and yeah, it were rickety. And anyway, it got to where it were going. It cost us 20p, bearing in mind, you know, this is trains done right. 20 pence to take you however far, and we got off in a field, and I'm not joking, right? I'm not exaggerating there. There was no platform, nothing. It stopped. There was like the end of the track is here, you know, the little barrier, and it just stopped, and we had to get off in a muddy field and walk across this like 30 yards of mud before we were at the road. It was fantastic. It was like going back in time. It was brilliant.
It's now 12:43 in the afternoon, and you know, it's a nice day outside. Look at that, lovely cracking day. Let's have a little look. You know, sun's out. It's October. Bloody hell! Look, autumn's coming, but it's still sunny. Fantastic. And what are Bruce and Des up to this morning? Well, Bruce is still in bed, lugging it. Look at that face. He don't want to get up either, does he? Clearly. Oh, miserable boy. And what's Des up to? Where is he? Oh, I can't see Des. Let's have a little look. Maybe he's under the blanket. Yeah. Now, these boys haven't been up yet today. So, my advice is get yourself 2 lazy dogs if you want some dogs. Not 2 lazy ones. You won't get out of flipping bed.
So we got into this salt mine, and you had to go down like 500 steps, 5,000, 5 million steps, I think it was. There were like close to 25 million steps going down this mine, which you can understand. It's a mine. The deep in ground out there. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, we're getting hotter and hotter all the way down, which is great. You know, we're warming up finally. And it had this big chapel in it that was like carved out of salt, and it were really impressive, like a proper church in salt. Like, that were fantastic. But there was this tour guide, and she was trying to teach us about salt mining and stuff, which is quite fun. But she said, if anyone's got any questions, just ask. And they had like these big replicas of like the horses that had worked down there and the men and stuff, like a bit like Jorvik Viking Centre, but it smelt a lot better. And yeah, they had this big horse there. It wasn't real, like a stuffed horse. And she said, yeah, have you got any questions? So I put my hand up, showing off in front of my mates. I went, can the horses be friends? And this and this tour guide didn't know what to do with that question. She was a bit shocked. Like, yeah, the horses can be friends. So that's just one way I like to entertain my friends, asking silly questions to tour guides. So my advice is ask more silly questions. It's fun. Anyway, point of this story is, while we were down there, my mate said, I'm gonna lick this wall because It's made out of salt, and I want to see if it's salty. I want to see if the salt mine tastes like salt. So he licked it and he was like, oh god, it's disgusting. You need to taste it. So I followed suit and I tasted it, and it was disgusting. It tasted bloody horrible, like the strongest salt ever. And all four of us ended up licking it, I think, and we were all disgusted. But my lips got affected by this, so we went back up to the top, which was an ordeal because you had to get like one man in this lift that was an open air lift. Like, it came up to your waist, did the rail, and it'd bring you up at like 30 mile an hour. It was very scary. I hated that. Anyway, yeah, got back out and I had the worst case of chapped lip I've ever had, because the cold and the salt drying it. And you try and find me some chapstick in Krakow, it's like rocking horse shit, that stuff. My advice to anyone who's going to Poland at any point, especially during winter, is take along some chapstick, heavy duty stuff, and look after yourself, because that cold wind is relentless over there. Good luck.
Thanks again for watching, guys, really appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and I hope I see you on the next one. Thanks, bye.